Good morning. Good morning, Kat and Dawn. Kat. You ever watch...
Kat, it's been a while since you've been on.
You know the movie 10 Things I Hate About You?
Yeah.
And the principal, she looks at her mug and she's like, so, Kat. Cat. Oh my gosh. Great way to start the morning.
Erin, what are you drinking today? What are you drinking today? Post a comment. Tell us, what are you drinking?
Where's the hair?
Good morning, Nicole. Good morning, Noam. All the way from the Israel.
Dang.
What are you drinking? What do you have in that bottle? We don't normally see it.
Chunky protein. That's what happens when you don't shake it.
Shake it up.
What if I like to eat it? Okay.
Eat a chunky protein.
In here I have almond milk. I have the X Endurance Lean protein. And then water.
Ah. Who do we have on this morning? Let's see.
Sterling,
Good morning, Jessica.
Jessica.
Happy day one. Good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Kayla.
And
Good
Nicole.
morning, Nicole.
All of the people.
Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Dawn. Good morning, Kat. And Heather.
And Heather.
Okay, so...
And Julia.
Oh, and Julia. Julia, how could I forget?
You went really fast.
I went really fast. Yeah, I'm not a master scroller. My apologies. Diet green tea? What is diet tea? Oh, like in a bottle. Got it. I'm like, diet green tea. Is that a new thing?
I'll have a diet water, please.
Got it. Good morning, Carissa. Okay, so the power of your word. You may have heard this once or twice before. You may have not heard it at all. However, your words are literally the bridge between your thoughts and your reality. So you have to be very careful on what you say on a regular basis. Now, if you haven't heard this before, then that's totally fine. Most people never think about it, don't talk about it. We're not taught that. And those are the kind of people who, more likely than not, don't always get what they want. And they don't really understand why. I feel like in society there is this, is conception a word? No.
Misconception?
Misconception, yes.
Where we think
the only conception is the Immaculate Conception of Jesus. Again, English is a second language, so I have ideas in my head, but sometimes the words might not fit right, but I should be careful because...
We forgive you.
I might have an Immaculate Conception. But, you know, I feel like a lot of people sometimes wonder, oh, like, how did, you know, he or she get to look like that, be like that? They're so lucky. It seems as if, you know, some people just happen to have luck in their lives, and then some others seem to, you know, not. If you're in this group, then you probably have heard of the term manifestation before. If you're just starting to watch, then welcome, because this is a whole new world. When it comes to living your best life, creating your best body, whatever that you want, manifestation is a huge part of it. There's a lot of metaphysics that go into it. If you haven't checked out the interview that we had on Friday with Caroline Flower, you should definitely check it out. Epic. Because we dove into it like in a lot of detail.
Man, I knew that was going to be good, but it was like, dang.
Yeah. It's related a lot to everything that we're talking about right now, but you know, your words are possibly one of the most powerful tools to creating your best life or to destructing your lives.
They're either tools or they are weapons.
Exactly.
Used against you.
So a lot of times I feel like it turns into a weapon because there's lack of awareness. Right? Now, I want you to take a second
Wait, I just thought about something.
Okay, what?
When we're talking about either your words can be like used as tools for you, for your benefit, or weapons against you. And I was thinking about when somebody gets arrested, one of the first things that they say in the Miranda is they say anything you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. Anything you say leads also a lot of times to what you do.
Yes.
And so that is why the manifestation is a thing. And I remember you guys talking in Caroline's interview about what you get, what you focus on, right? And those are your thoughts, and your thoughts then become your words. And so this is where that power comes in, is when you focus on something and you speak about it. If you're focused on something, you're going to talk about it to your friends, to your family, whatever, to yourself. I talk to myself, no shame. But you're going to be then taking the action that is aligned with those thoughts. And, one of the examples was when you think about getting a new car and you know what kind of car you want to get, you start seeing it everywhere. Or you get a new car and then all of a sudden, oh my God, everybody else also has this car, right? And that, you can go into what you're saying, but that.
Yeah, so I want to do an exercise with you guys, and in order for this exercise to be successful, so that we can really demonstrate real life examples, I'm going to ask all of you who are in the room to take a second to be vulnerable. Okay, as I ask you the following questions. You need to get very real with yourself, because if you don't get vulnerable, then you're going to live in a lie, and you're going to hold yourself back from achieving what is it that you want. Okay? So
vulnerability is sexy.
Think about the last time, okay, that you stood in front of the mirror. Whether it was this morning when you went to brush your teeth, maybe you're changing your clothes, you got undressed, maybe you took a shower. When you looked at yourself, what is the first thought that came into your head? What were you telling yourself? Please type that below.
This is such a good question.
Yeah, it's an extremely vulnerable question, but it's going to lead to a lot of breakthrough if you're doing it right. If you're going to lie to yourself, then you're...
You know why it's vulnerable?
Because it's real.
It's vulnerable because when we look at and assess ourselves, we immediately see the negative, and we don't want to admit to other people the negative things we see about ourselves. I guarantee you the first thought that you had, you saw something on your face, or you had a booger in your nose, or you don't like the way you look, or whatever. You saw something, I got a hair out of place, I got a Jew curl, oh my God, I gotta pluck my eyebrows. You found something immediately. I'm so fat, looking better. Keep it up. Nice. I love if it's positive. That's amazing. Dude, get your ass back in gear and get back into the workouts. Look amazing even with excess stomach skin. I love it, Jeanette. The positive ones are amazing. Damn, I'm sexy, but for real, I need to lose 10 kilograms.
Okay.
Yes. So for me, what was it for you?
It was satisfaction. I mean, I have the concept. If you've worked with me before, then you know what I'm talking about when I talk about humble and hungry. There is self-judgment always. And I think there is some kind of a blessing in it, because if I was already satisfied, then, I wouldn't keep on reaching higher. Right? So it's an assessment of, I like what I'm seeing. However, this could be done better. Right? And that's just the reality of it. You guys, like I said, if you're in this room right now, it doesn't matter whether you're just getting started, whether, you're here because you're finding you want to find the tools in order to get back up, and change your life, or maybe, you had a rough few months or years, and you're just inspired, right? But when you look at yourself in the mirror, that assessment that you're making, a lot of times we just look at it, we have a thought, and we don't even really try to acknowledge what this means, right? However, right, saying words like stomach is fat, Like, I need to lose 10 kilos. I'm so fat, right? Like, you need to watch out for it. And this is, so what I'm going to, the thing that I'm going to offer to you next is, anytime you judge yourself in a negative way, you need to add a positive connotation to it. Because remember, your words do become a reality. Jessica, you said something that was really powerful and inspiring.
Do you want them to add a positive piece to it, or do you want them to exchange?
Well, if they're acknowledging something, I want them to add a positive piece to it.
So acknowledge and add.
Like don't not acknowledge. If you're not acknowledging, you're not going to take action.
Well, you can't not acknowledge.
Right.
Because if you want to change.
But like, for example, what Jessica said was powerful, because she said, this is all about to change. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. So like, Jessica is acknowledging what's happening, but she's create
the future.
Right, what's going to happen. So, Noam, for you, rather than just saying, I need to lose 10 kilos, like, add something to it that will allow you to be inspired to get somewhere.
Or like, I'm so glad I'm on my way to losing 10 kilos.
Right, exactly.
I would say switch it. You can acknowledge, but then replace.
Yes.
Acknowledge and replace. Don't just add to, because you want to get rid of the negative component of it. So acknowledge, it's important, and then replace with, you just twist it, just flip it around. So instead of it being a negative thing, then you turn it into something positive.
Because here's the thing, if you say, I need to lose 10 kilos, then like Kayla said, your body is listening, then you're gonna remain in a state where you're going to need to lose 10 kilos, because your thoughts and your words will create the future. So
that's what you're focused on.
Right. Rather than you living in a state where you need to lose 10 kilos, exactly like you said, switch the script. And what did you tell him to say?
I'm so glad I'm on my way to losing 10 kilos.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Whatever your words are, like, I'm stoked these 10 kilos are going away.
Yeah.
Whatever you want, however you want to phrase it.
Whichever way speaks more authentically to you. Right? Or like Donna.
I hope they can see us okay.
Yeah, the sun is like in our eyes right now. Or like Donna, for example, she said, stomach is fat.
I'm sorry. I'll scroll because you're a lefty and your thumb.
Right. So by you saying stomach is fat, it's going to keep on appearing this
Girl,
way.
you just got to add an L between the F and the A.
L between the F and the... Oh, shit.
If you got it, drop a comment.
Oh. Okay, but seriously, you guys, it's important that we do exercises like that, because you have to get real with yourself. If you keep on living in a lie, what you're going to receive, right, or what's going to be manifested is going to be, suboptimal to you. And you're basically cutting yourself short. And now the reason why we're talking about it is because unless you're taught that, chances are that you don't do it. How do I know this? Because until I knew that, I used to say the other, basically, the opposite. I used to judge myself hard. I used to talk down on myself. And where do you think my body was? Do you think it was in a state that it is in right now? Absolutely not. Right?
Kayla said my first word I removed from self-talk was can't. I changed it to I am not able to yet, but I haven't even, that's good. That is really good, actually, depending on what it is. We heard something really powerful from Marie Forleo, and she said, generally, most of the time, the word can't can be replaced with won't, because it's our decisions. Now, if you're talking about like hiking or something, and you're physically held back from something like that, then that would be perfect. I'm not able to yet. Or I'm on my way to being able to, because then it's still positive. It's not I'm not able to. It's soon I will be able to, or I'm on my way to be able to.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm on my way to. Kayla, I will say I'm on my way to. That way it will also emphasize basically it'll make it a priority that you start taking action with regards to whatever it is that, you're not in yet. And with time, you will get to it, if that makes sense. Something that I want to bring up too is, have you guys ever noticed that people who publicly announce either their weight loss journey or their fitness journey end up achieving their goal? Do you know why that is? Because when you're being held accountable, you're using words to tell people where it is that you're going, right? And like we said, your words are the bridge to basically between your thoughts and your actions, and therefore your reality. So that's why accountability is a huge, huge part when it comes to achieving anything, right?
I want to say real quick, Lori Osborne Bradford, you made a comment that is breaks my heart, but I'm going to reach out to you individually because it's off of this topic, but it's a very important thing for you to discuss. And we've talked about it on other episodes. Try going into the units and looking for other episodes that we've talked about that you think will be helpful for you. We're going to keep going, but I wanted to acknowledge your comment and know that I'm going to reach out to you today.
So you guys, that's why accountability is a huge thing, because accountability leads to a propelled state of, expressing your words and turning it into your reality, right? Like, let's say, Jessica, you're telling your husband, all right, today I'm getting started, and this is the newfound me, right? Like, the more people that you're speaking the new reality to, the more now you're using your words to describe where you're going. So you're manifesting it. And then you're now manifesting it to people who care about you. So you're not going to let them down, right? And that's why it's super important to speak up and, for one, acknowledge where it is that you're at, okay? And for two, tell people where it is that you're going. Because that's you telling the universe how serious you are about this and how serious you are about receiving it. Now, we want to let you know too that we're not woo-woo in the sense of you saying, I live in the body that I love, and then you don't do shit.
It's not like you can say it and
it's not just going to come to you, right?
It's like I said it yesterday. Why don't I have a 6-pack?
Right. Saying like every morning when I wake up and I look at myself in the morning, like when I wake up in the morning and I look at myself in the mirror, I see an amazing 6-pack. It's not just going to come to you. However, if you keep on saying this to yourself, right, then guess what? It's going to propel you to take action so that you can act in a way that will help you to achieve a 6-pack, because it's now at the forefront of your mind rather than just like deeply somewhere, like dug down in your brain. It's like, okay, this is a priority. Therefore, I'm going to make sure that I eat in a certain way that's aligned with my goals, that I train in a certain way that's aligned with my goals. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to be consistent with it. Even when Linda is trying to, throw cookies in my face, I'm going to tell her no, because this is the body that I'm living in, right? It's not just going to come to you.
Constant thoughts. Thoughts become things. Thoughts become your words become your actions dictate your habits will create something else, which creates your character, something like that. Whatever that quote is, I'm sure you've heard of it, but that's basically like the run through, right? So whatever stays at the whatever stays in your eyeball or at the forefront of your mind is what will eventually end up happening if that's your constant thought. I literally just told myself this morning, I don't eat bad, obviously, but there's things that I'm like, oh, I could do better at this, or I could do better at that. And I'm like, okay, let me try to rewire this and say, the next time I think about, like engaging in a habit or a behavior that I would like to change, remember the reason why you want to change. Like, why do I want to change it? Isn't it worth it? If it's not worth it, you're going to behave. You're going to engage in the behavior. So it's really not worth it. And if it is worth it, you won't engage in the behavior because you've remembered why. And if it stays up here in the very front, like, eventually you will get what you think about.
So now I want you to take a second to think to yourself, when was the last time that I had a negative thought about myself? And did I ignore it, or did I show up and face it? Now the problem with this, and this is what we're talking about, is that most of the times when these things like show up and we think about them, like, we hide them. We don't face it. We don't confront it. Therefore, do you think that we're changing the way that we're acting? No, we're not creating any change because we just ignored our thoughts, and therefore we're ignoring the reality, right? And do you think it's going to come to you through ignorance or through consistent action? Of course, it's going to be a byproduct of consistent action, but you have to keep telling yourself that this is what's happening, and therefore you will act according to what you say will happen. Mm-hmm. Now, sometimes you won't. But if that's the case, then that's a problem with your own integrity to yourself. Mm-hmm. And guess what? That's a work in progress too. Integrity is not something that's just going to come to you. But let's say you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, my stomach is flat and I'm on my way to get there. Meanwhile, like, you ended up having a brownie, right? Do you think that you're going to snap back into getting into the right action sooner or later than just ignoring it? You're gonna be like, shit, I fucked up. Okay, time to get back on track because I have a flat stomach and I own a six-pack. Right? And therefore, it's not about the problem with, lack of achievement of anything in life. It's due to, one, not acknowledging the truth, just ignoring it. It's going to be okay. One day it's just going to come to me. No, like, you have to freaking work for it, and you have to work for it harder than anybody ever would. And like we said yesterday, easy and fast is non-negligible. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right. However, if you want to speed up your results, you're going to need to acknowledge these thoughts more often. You're going to need to make it a priority because you're going to need to take more action.
Yesterday you said if you get it easy, you can lose it easy.
Right. If you get it fast, you're going to lose it fast. Now, how long will it take me to achieve that flat stomach and six pack if I keep on saying these positive things to myself and I keep on acting upon it, and every once in a while when I have a slip up, then I'm just going to get back on the wagon. Look, it's going to be different for everybody, mm-hmm. right?
Set a target. I mean, it's important to set a target.
By when
that you think is realistic. Now, it is not your job to choose if it actually happens by then, but it's your job to do your best and show up each day and be consistent to give yourself the best possibility that it will happen by that time. Mm-hmm. Now, there are things that we don't have control over, but we always, every single time, 100% of the time, no exceptions, have the choice to do our best or not.
Amen.
So if you show up and you do your best, there are things that will come in the way that are outside of your control, right? So you may not reach the destination at the initial time that you set, but the point is that you set a time, because things will start to move in your favor and it will happen.
Do you think if you practice this exercise on a regular basis, when you acknowledge the things that you say and you act in a way that's according to plan, do you think that it's going to help you achieve the results that you want sooner or later than just completely ignoring it and let your ideas slip and go somewhere, right? Who cares if it's 1 month or 1 year? You're all at different stages. Some of you guys are like, have only 5 pounds to lose, or you just want to tighten up. Some of you guys have like 100 pounds to lose. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take. I feel like, because we get so wrapped up in having this expectation that it's going to be achieved at a certain time, we focus so much on the destination instead of actually focusing on the actions throughout the journey. But guess what? It's only your consistency of the actions throughout the journey that are going to help you get there. And we focus on the wrong things, and then we have this victim mentality. Woe is me, I tried XYZ. Yeah, how long have you tried it for though?
2 weeks.
Everything works if you work it.
Ooh.
That's why when somebody asks us, what do you think about keto? What do you think about intermittent fasting? What do you think about paleo? Guess what? It all works if you work it. How long did you work it for? 2 weeks? 1 month?
Kayla said you got to trust the process and stick with it. Now, yes, you need to trust the process and stick with it. But I would say, don't try to stick with anything you don't think you can stick with for the rest of your life. Yep. Because that is the wrong process,
right,
for you. And it's different for everybody. But for the majority of people, most diet trends or eating styles are just ridiculous to try to do forever.
If it seems miserable. If it seems like a daily battle, then you're not on the right course.
Or like after 2 weeks, you're gonna be like, "Fuck this, I can't handle it."
Right. And if it seems as if it's too hard to follow through with right now, then you're not doing the right thing for you at this very given moment. And that's the problem with most diet approaches out there, right? Like, it's not personalized in any way, shape, or form. It has nothing to do with you, right? It gives you some guidelines. Any guidelines will help you make progress, right?
Gotta get out of the sun.
Until you stop taking action. Yep.
Awesome.
Sweet. That was good.
That was good.
That
okay.
was good.
I'm so glad that you guys are all here. Your consistency is key. Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys for showing up today. Sorry if you have a hard time seeing us. I'm going to hope that you can see us better than we can see you. And any announcements today? I don't think so, other than if this episode added value to you or you felt it inspiring or empowering or helpful in any way, please share or invite your friends or both to the page. All of these are being uploaded onto YouTube as of the last at least 2 or 3 weeks. And we email out the episode each day as we are able. And so if you guys miss it, or if you want to forward the email to somebody or share our YouTube channel, there's many ways people can watch these to find help. But if somebody ever comes to mind while watching these videos, please just send them an invite or share the video with them on their wall or on your own wall. It means the world to us because we know that we have a message that is very different than a lot of people in this industry who are the reason that you're here. So thanks to them. But at the same time, this community is your community. And so we want to help grow it. But we also need your help to grow it. So thank you for showing up. And
keep showing up today. Happy day 1, Jessica. We hope that all of you guys have an amazing day. Remember, watch out what you say to yourself and take action.
Bye, guys.
We'll see you tomorrow, 6:30.